Previously on the Liverpool career mode, we got rid of Mohamed Salah. We signed the replacement in Kubo. We lost out in the cup, but we've gone on a winning streak. Yes, people, welcome back to the Liverpool career mode. Now, might not be what you want to really hear to start off with, but this season will be the last. It will only be a 2-season rebuild. Yes, it's not the news I wanted to bring you guys, but exam season has been pushed forward, and I have to go. We'll still be there on more MWS though. I'm going to try and squeeze things out for you guys as we need to get this team set for our first game of the season, of course. We need to jump straight in. There we go. It was actually a long time ago since I recorded the last episode of this save. I'm pretty sure Ignacio was playing well. Jota was doing quite well as well, I remember. And Kubo's just basically arrived. He's one of them versatile players. But we do need a midfielder. We've got Tyler Morton on the bench. He can't stay there. We are still inside the window, and we have 37 million to operate with. Also worth checking out the objectives, because it mentions playing a youth player a lot, as looking at the youth players, we could really use, I mean, it's got to be, what's his face? It's got to be Seb Butcher, and I'm thinking, because it's near the finale now, I think Curtis Jones has to come back to help us out. Now, of course, I said we can recall players in January, which is quite realistic. And I think recalling him after he's doing well at Inter. He's played 6 games, got 2 goals, and they're in the Champions League. So he must be playing well in the league as well. He's going to cost under $500,000. Sorry, Inter. He's joining back. McAllister is out, of course, but we needed another man for the midfield. We still have a little bit of money left. In fact, never mind thinking about the money. Do we think about putting Curtis Jones ahead of Kone? Because stats-wise, Kone is flying ahead of him, but Curtis Jones has a better rating. Very unusual stuff. And what am I on about out of the cup? We're not out of any cups, are we? I think I said we're out of the cup. We're not out of the cup. We have the Carabao Cup second round. Man City, very exciting. We have to go to the Etihad and beat them. But before that, we've got a simulation against Brighton. What's going to happen right here? It is a win, and it is Kubo with one of the goals. Good stuff. As hang on. Curtis Jones just come back, and Chelsea are trying to pay his release clause. I don't think so, Blues. We need to try and sign him up to a new deal to make sure that does not happen, especially before Man City, where he's probably gonna play, and he does sign with an increased wage and increased years. Big, that. Big, especially on his return, as he will captain the team in his return game as well, as that's what we've rotated to. Gakpo's still on the bench, but we've got Darwizel, Elliott, Bashetic, Butcher, and Keller all back in the team, and hopefully beating Manchester City. Come on, this has to be a win. It has to be a win. The Citizens' ground, of course. We are travelling to them. They're winning on aggregate. It's going to be a big task. We're still sticking with the rotated team, and we're hoping for some miracle. We've just got to get a press on them, as here it is. It is Stefan Bashetic into Luis Diaz here, the Colombian, with a little bit of a darting run, getting it round the corner into Robertson. We just need to try and play as normal game. Don't force it, but it's a good start. Darwizel! Good stuff. Good stuff. And, of course, it's 3-1. I just realised that. I forgot. I thought it was 3-2, so we'll probably have to go for it from the start a bit more. As here's Goncalo Ignacio. He's going to keep this ball, and he's going to give it into Robertson. No, when City break like they're probably going to have to in this game, because we need to dominate it. It's going to be tough. Elise wavering away. He's lost the ball. He's got unlucky as Erling Haaland shooting straight at Seb Butcher, who, of course, we've trusted in this team. Same with Keller, who did play well in, I think it was a game against Arsenal. Still, we've got to play better than we have done here as Kevin De Bruyne strikes the post. As at the Etihad, absolutely dominant. And Haaland puts it over just before half-time. Yeah, we need to be better. We need to get some passages of play together again, as here is Diaz. Luis Diaz has the run of Darwin. We've got to get that pass through. Then again, we shouldn't be doing that. We should, of course, be at least 1-0 up by now. We need to plot some points in the game where we're going to score, and this should be one of them. It's Dominic Szoboszlai on a smart turn, you know, and that's one back. That is a goal from Dominic, our player of the season so far. Maybe we're still in this cup. Have we revived our hopes? I bloody hope so. Brilliant time to score, lads, just before half-time, but we've got to stay strong. We need more from Nunez and Diaz especially, and, well, all the front three. No changes just yet, though. Still got to think about the league and Champs League. So come on, Paul. We've got to try and pull out a bit more of a performance. Curtis Jones booked for nothing. We're not through, even if we beat bloody City on a Tuesday night at the Etihad. Criminal, I know. And it would be criminal if they nicked a goal. They've been very good, but we've been resolute at defending. Shot blocked by Butcher. And it's handball. It's handball from the youngster. Can you be any harsher? It is just hitting the lower bit of his arm. And Haaland now against Kelleher with a penalty, which he dinks. It's 4-2 to City. And our chances of going through have slimmed massively. No chance for the young goalkeeper. I mean, it's not 50-50 when you're a keeper, is it? The striker should score, and definitely Haaland against Kelleher. The changes have been made. JOTA on the field and Cody Gakpo. Of course, you might have seen we didn't put Kubo on the bench, and that is because he's new around here. He needs a little bit more time to pan in. As can we get to that? I don't think we will. No fault of effort as Trent wins his header into Cody Gakpo on the right for this game. Not usually there as Trent drilling forward. A ball into JOTA, and JOTA scored through bodies again. We've picked up a goal, regained the lead, and have won against City. I don't even want to see the replay of that. I think that's very good going from Diogo, but the job still not done. As a bloody free kick for City right here. De Bruyne's going to get it short. I don't believe it. That is a bad tackle from Dominic Szoboszlai, but we've got to leave it all out on the field. Brilliant save. The young keeper still getting his business done. No penalties. No stupid goals to give away right here. I mean, that is a poor ball from Curtis Jones. He's a bit rusty as Seb Butcher fights for the ball, and we might have a bit of a counter on here. It is Diaz. It is round the corner into Dominic Szoboszlai. Here he is, charging through on goal. And what is that? What is that? The defender kind of just swooped in front, and I wanted to cut away, but it worked out horrifically. Still, Cody Gakpo. That's a good dink into Dominic. He's kept it away from the keeper, and Vardio with the block. We're going to push City till this final whistle, because I think it goes straight to penalties in this round. It's Robertson. Andrew Robertson. Dominic Szoboszlai trying to drag us himself. Shot wasn't really the greatest, though, and Rodri. Oh, we've missed his tackle on him. The clock is ticking. It's into Erling Haaland. It's Kevin De Bruyne. It's a good one too. I don't think we're going to get another chance, even if we do nick the ball somehow. It's a good job De Bruyne jumped over that. They're playing really well right here at the end. Foden with the header, and that is the whistle. And we've lost 2-1. Oh, 4-3 should I say. We've won the game, but we won't be making the final. I still think we deserve a man of the match. It's a good display. Could give it to Szoboszlai, but I'm going to give it to the young keeper. Decent display, but ultimately out in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Bad news for Liverpool here. It will be a full Mancunian derby for the finals. The calendar, who do we have? We have, of course, Inter today and Derby County next. And just after losing in a cup, I want to play the highlights in this next cup game. Of course, the FA Cup, we've got Kubo in, Darwizzle. It's a very strong team, but then again, it's very similar to the last team, which was already rotated. As after that defeat, I actually am going to speak to Keller, the goalkeeper. You played very well, mate. Keep these performances up, and you might be pushing Alisson, who's getting older. He says he'd love to do that, and he's ready to prove himself against Derby County. And here we go, here we go, here we go. That's Harry Cornick, I believe. No, it isn't. It's Sonny Bradley, who's hanging up the boots. This is going to be a very, very crucial game, you know. Pride Park is one hell of a ground, and they will cause one hell of an atmosphere, especially against Liverpool, an ex-Premier League club. A free kick for them to start off with. No, it's not Harry Wilson, is it? Not back there again. Where's he at now, him? Fulham? Fulham, I believe, is another highlight, though, for Liverpool right here. Curtis Jones looking with a good touch around his man to get it into Darwizzle. We need an early goal, and it's Darwin Nunez slotting it past the goalkeeper. The man of the moment. Brilliant response that. We didn't get to have a look at the replay, and therefore we didn't get to play the song. Oh wait, play it now. Darwin Nunez. Yeah, it doesn't matter when it is, what moment of the day. If Darwin scores, that song must play, as that's a ball through from Kubo into Curtis Jones. Could this be another and his first back at the club? Good chance as a penalty kick, and Darwin can add to his goals here with a brace. And there we go. 2 goals in the FA Cup for Darwizzle Nunez. Don't know if Derby are in the Championship or League One, but it's fair to say I don't care where, because we are just playing like the Premier League club that they are not. And look at the footwork. This is Kubo. This is the new man, and that's a penalty. He shoved us off the ball. Definitely needs to get on the weights a little bit, but still we'll continue going here. And look at Kone exploiting this gap. Whip that back, incorrect ball should I say, and Stevan Bajcetic does well and just pokes it over. Completely toe-poked. But hey, we win the game. We go through into the next round of the FA Cup, which may be the round of 32. And I believe I'm correct. Yes, it should be the round of 32 next. That's come around rather quickly. But we've got to get back fully focused on the Prem, which we lead by 6 points. Now, Curtis Jones finally breaking his silence since joining back. Boss, I like this captain's armband you've given me. Could I keep this permanently if I do a good job here? And I'm going to say it's only because their captain Virgil van Dijk's been out. You know how crucial he is to us. And once he's back in the squad, he'll have it back, I'm afraid. As there he is, back amongst it, back in this very strong squad. Because in the same week, we have Newcastle and Arsenal, and then the week after, Inter. As just because we've got Champions League games now, well, we are going to have to sim games of mass importance, including, of course, a team like Newcastle. No youngster in the squad, but Butcher comes off the bench to actually save our bacon. Is that Amad Diallo, an ex-Sunderland player? As it was Robertson with our other goal. Look at that, Darwin has scored more goals than Jota, which I didn't realise. I think that is carried by the, of course, Derby County game. Salah is still amongst the squad, but he won't be playing. I'm here to check the appearances of the youth players, which we might not tick off as an objective. I mean, we can technically not tick it off. We didn't tick everyone off last year. But Seb needs to play more games. He's got a 6.96 rating. That is very good. 5 games, 1 goal. But then, of course, Kelleher counts as one technically. Same with Ramsey. And same with Curtis Jones. As long as they get the fair share, I suppose. As we need to be playing the strongest teams we can. Because Arsenal are up next. And Manchester City, with our draw, are starting to close the gap. Let's go into this one and make sure they cannot do it. This will be only a sim package though, because we need to be playing the Champions League. The league is our most important thing, but we can only do 6 in-game things at a time. The season will be, what's the word, elongated, made longer, because to cover for the majority of games that we've got put into our calendar, or rather pushed into the calendar. Come on, let's start well, because it's the first highlight here. Oh, and it's at the Emirates, and it's in this funky purple kit right here, and it's Kubo running along. Kubo cutting all around. He's staying away from their players, and Jota strikes timber. Can't go through in my stew, as Canate's made a big tackle. He's in, of course, for Ignacio on a counter-attacking move for Arsenal. Oh, this game seems like it's going quick. A long ball here. I think that's coming from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's looking for Diaz. Very awkward with the positioning of Arsenal. And this game's flying away from us. Curtis Jones, though, into Ismail Benassa, the midfield, working well. Curtis must be off the bench for Szoboszlai. Don't agree with that. With a game riding on the league, of course, we need to move with Robertson. And Gabriel Martinelli running at us here. We can't lose the game. If we can't win it without Dominic, we definitely can't lose it. And I've whacked the ball thinking it wouldn't be a counter-attacking opportunity. Still we keep it, though. And it's Trent to run forward. Oh, Trent. Trent, what are you doing? Give Arsenal an attack with not long to go. That's something we couldn't afford to do. And it's cost us 0-0 draw with Arsenal. Liverpool, if we're to do anything, we have to be a lot better than that. And straight after the game, to hopefully make things better, Sebastian Butcher can now be a right back for us. That's brilliant. Shouldn't take him long to learn the inverted role and get to a 75 rating. We do, of course, still have Connor Bradley out on loan. That could be a loan to buy. Ben Doak doing well at Stoke. Oh, not Stoke, at Fulham this time. Carvalho at Villa. We don't need them now, but we do need help. 4 points still ahead of City. They must have drawn. However, this is in the week we play into Milan, and we have to get a strongest team out for that. That means we're going to this, and yes, Kelleher did play the last game. I trusted him ahead of Alisson. Probably a bad move. I know now, but then again, He kept a clean sheet. And he knew how to do it last time against Arsenal in the Cup. Different competition, as this is back to Premier League. Early kickoff time against the Saints, and it's a win. It's a Darwin NUNEZ hat-trick. Now, I'm sorry, I know it's not in-game, but play the goddamn track. Darwin NUNEZ! He should be probably playing in this game, because look at that. He's joint top scorer with Szoboszlai now. Yes, different competitions, but in less games. However, Jota's still decently rated. He's fitter now, of course. And speaking of fitness, we've got 8 weeks without Alexis McAllister. Oh boy. Good job we hooked Curtis Jones back, as he's gave Kone a rest so he can play this fixture. That is the team we're going with, but one change. One change is going to be Alisson coming back in. First time in a while we've had a player with no sharpness playing, and that is unusual for Alisson. But can he make it work? I probably should have asked him. If he's up for playing, but it doesn't matter now. Here we are, the world's centre stage. It is Liverpool taking on Internazionale. We had the whole kerfuffle last time about forfeiting Champions League games. This time, we're here to knock the ball around. We're here to play football. And it's not loser goes home, but in the only 2-legged competition we've played, we've been out to Man City today already. So we've got to get this job done. They're playing a 3 at the back and a almost 5 up front. With the players that are flooding forward already, it looks like it could be. It's Lautaro Martinez. It's Thuram. It is one of the worst possible starts here in Italy, as Florian Thuram puts into 1-up. A shock for the cards, a shock for the ages. Ball across into the path of Florian, and there was no chance he was missing that. Well finished from the big man. I remember him at Mönchengladbach giving Real Madrid a good old hiding, as hopefully he doesn't do that to us. Need to be better than this start. Need to find a way to break them down. Ooh, that was a bad tackle on ex-AC Milan man, Benassa, which we could kind of expect. But Jota, come on, we can't afford to stay behind. That's a ball behind Dominic Szoboszlai. What is that? Just volley it, side volley it. He's gone for the spectacular, and to be fair, could Diogo Jota have run it himself? We've still got the ball. We need to keep the pressure on them. Van Dijk, handballed! Handballed! Come on, he's gave it. It took a bloody while, but he gives it against the defender. Second penalty of the day, this one, and it's Acerbi who sticks his arm too high and gives us a big chance. This has to go for Diogo Jota. Of course, I've compared him to Darwin. He can go into a league of his own by scoring in the Champions League knockouts. Diogo Jota, absolutely ice cold, our number 20. Summer, by his facial expression, looked like he was beaten when he dived, and I don't care. Hopefully he's beaten more than once today. As I need to rack my brain, does it go to, of course, away goals? Because we've got one right now, and that would mean we're going through if everything stayed the same. But with how they're doing and us, seems lively. Seems like it will not be staying the same, as the header was won by their man as well. Alisson with the low-down catch, and we've prevented an extra goal from them. And Manu Kone, oh, he's hit it ahead of him into Barella. And we can't be having that, as Martinez through. Alisson with a low save. Good stuff. But again, Internazionale doing well here at the San Siro. Diaz, though, header into Robertson, actually. Oh, dear. Come on. We're slowing down a little bit. We can't afford to do that. Here's Trent, cutting the ball inside. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold weaving a really good web. Oh, damn. Just not fallen through for us, but still. Dominic Szoboszlai, that's a ball round the corner into Luis Diaz, and Diaz to keep on going. He's got men dropping off at the edge of the box. Gabriel, I mean, Diaz is a bit sloppy today. Ran straight into his man, and that's half-time. Lads, I don't know what it is. Alisson, you should have caught a lot more than you've parried, my friend, but I'll put that down to your sharpness. My fault, I know, as I wouldn't change anything team-wise. Just performance-wise. We have to be a lot better than what we have been. Virgil van Dijk with a low block right there, trying to get the ball away from the man running in, and Dominic Szoboszlai. That's a move to the side, and this is space for Kubo, you know. He could start this half off very well. He goes for a long ranger. None of that, actually, please. Ever again. I mean, in an away game, it's not too bad, because you've got to try and create chances out of nothing, as that's a chance for them. Just flash from Barella. That had even me thinking it was in, because that was a brilliant move. Robertson Siphoned down. That is a reckless one from the man who just should have scored. You can see his head's going. Hopefully it goes for the rest of this tie. As Szoboszlai, that rhymes, poet, and I don't even know it, is running through. He's been given a bit of a gap. It's Dominik Szoboszlai. And that was a chance as Lautaro. No, you don't punish us, my friend. They've gone out wide into DiMarco. DiMarco needs marking. Corner ball, Milan. Or Inter. Oh, they won't like being called that, will they? Still, got to get in their heads a little bit. Mkhitaryan on the field. Rafa tackled by the Hungarian. It falls back to them. Hendrik Mkhitaryan. Lautaro Martinez. We've got to be a lot better attacking-wise ourselves. Come on, Diogo Jota. We just need to be more mazy with his runs and a lot more clinical, as that's a good move. That's into Dominik Szoboszlai. He's trying to create an angle and he's got one off. He really should have stole the game. Still it goes on. Come on, Kubo. No long shot this time, because I think we can actually move it about. We're doing well at the latter stages. And this is Kubo to win the game. It's saved, and Bastoni with the header away. We're trying to chase up on it. It's Diaz, not Luis. And Thuram runs away. A draw. A draw in our first game with Inter. Makes it all to play for in the second one. And I must mention, didn't forget about man of the match. Just didn't want to give one off, as we play Chelsea next. We've got one in-game game to play, and the rest have got to be highlights. So, yeah, we've got a highlight package Chelsea. And after that, we have Everton, Newcastle in the Cup, and Man City that are going to get simmed. Oh, my. But yeah, I'm so glad I played Derby bloody County now. No offence meant to Derby, of course, as this is the team we're going to play for Chelsea. And we've got to do the highlights, because I'm not doing them against City. I was always going to sim that, actually, because I'm just bored of playing them. And Chelsea are in second place. Not going to speak to anyone. Just going to get us heads in the zone. Come on, you Redmen. Here we go. Stamford Bridge awaits. Got the kit now? Oh my days. We need to beat Chelsea. Come on. And come on, Stamford Bridge is here. We need to win this. Come on, lads. It's going to go to, who's this? It's Diaz straight away. He's been sloppy, but it's a counter-attacking opportunity. A goal straight away would be brilliant. And it could be, you know, Luis Diaz. Gotta say, Kepa outstanding. Kepa absolutely brilliant in that little move. But Enzo Fernandez, he's been sloppy with the pass, and they have gifted us the counter-attack. We just need to graft it and get some players up the field, including Dominik Szoboszlai. Can he fit it back in? Gonna have to go backwards to go forward, though. Benassa, that's a brilliant little move from Curtis Jones, jinxing it, but losing it, but getting us a penalty. Maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. And of course, Darwizzy, still not on the field. This is crucial from Diogo Jota down the middle to solve the riddle. And Liverpool have a lead in the top of the table clash. Doing the Volta celebration as well. He's gone off the controller one onto the Volta. Diogo. Whoa. Just what we needed. And we're into the second half, all looking dandy, but I see that scoreboard, and I see we've got one less player. Can't, of course, fathom who it is right now, but it usually doesn't suspend them for the second game after it. It's weird, as that's a cross, and it should be a corner. No, an even better chance. I'll take it, as hopefully we could literally take this, because it's Diaz through on goal. Malo Gusto in the middle. We've got the run in front of us, and that is a double from Diogo Jota at the heart of London. Stamford Bridge is falling down, as it should be. Home and dry. I even skipped the replay on that last one. Immobile wide, and us hopeful, as that's a bad header from the Chelsea defence. It could be one more. It's Luis Diaz. It isn't one more. As that's the end of the game, though, and I'll take not scoring another goal if it means a 2-0 win against second place Chelsea away from home. That is huge, especially with the games we've got to sim. We should be sitting more comfortably at the top of the table. And well done, Klopp, a lookalike, I'm going to call him. Well, it's essentially supposed to be me. Of course, not got my glasses on when I film. And Everton are next. But the league table, it's a 7-point gap. Love it. It could go to a 6 if Manchester City or United win. I don't care, though. I'm just going to focus on my team right now. As Curtis Jones is coming to us again. He's saying, boss, I'm not asking for captaincy this time. I'm asking that I play against Inter. I'm saying this 2 weeks in advance, as I have experience against them. I believe I'm completely loyal to Liverpool, so despite being in Italy for a little while, I want to play against my ex-teammates and take Liverpool to the quarters. I like that from Curtis, playing 4D chess as we've got Dele Alli against us, Cucho Hernandez. If anyone watched on the main channel the Ibar save years and years ago, leave a comment below, because you are a legend. Of course, these players can make themselves legends if they win the Champions League and Premier League and FA Cup. Let's be greedy. Quick simulation against the rivals. Cucho gets a goal, but it is Diogo, Diaz, Virgil and Diogo with a brace who win the derby at Goodison emphatically. Fantastic, as we have Newcastle in the Cup. So I'm going to rotate to this team, which is rotated. And again, I don't know why it's happening in our most crucial and scrunched up fixture list, but Elliott and Gakpo are on really bad sharpness, and that shouldn't be the case, as getting there though, Seb Butcher is scoring for fun, and Takefusa Kubo, legend of the quick sim. That's us in a quarter-final of that competition, or I don't know if it is actually still. I need to check. As upon checking, which I'll do in a moment, we have to stare at this. 9 points ahead of Manchester City. Of course, they've got a game in hand, but if we beat them, it will stay at a minimum of 9 points, and that is phenomenal going. Of course, we're focusing on all fronts, as it is a quarter-final, and we've drawn... voice going. We've drawn Arsenal out of all the teams that we could have played. I didn't want them or Chelsea. That's unfortunate. Away from home as well, as we might as well look at all competitions. So look at that. Besiktas and Benfica in there. Galatasaray winning their game. Club Brugge are in it. It's a Champions League with weird games. Barcelona's only beat Hearts 1-0. Stephen Naismith, you're doing very well, but we can't praise him. He's an ex-Evertonian, as this is the team we've got for City. It's not the strongest. It's Konate the captain, as it's Inter after this. Paul Turney as referee, as yes, it could increase our, of course, what's the word? Our gap, of course. But Manchester City have a very tired team themselves. Of course, they're in this competition, or that competition being the Champions League, as Darwin Nunez has just made the gap a minimum of 9 points. That buys us an FA Cup game against Arsenal, I think, so we can simulate more league games, buys us a Champions League game, but hopefully we can win them, as Inter are next. And despite everything I do, everything I say, it has to just keep chugging along, and the Champions League will always be the best of the best. That's why we've got the best of the best on the best of the best team sheet. And I don't know why I'm digging a hole for myself by showing the stats of Darwin being the top scorer with 16 goals, but Jota in the same amount of games, and of course kind of the same goals, because he was scoring legit in the what's it called, the FA Cup. Jota has 10 goals in the Prem, and actually they both have 10 goals in the Premier League. That's interesting. So Boslai's fallen off big time. He's got 10 goals in the Prem as well. But I need a big performance out of him, and we must beat Inter. Come on, Liverpool. Come on, Redmen. We've got to do it right here. We've got the home advantage. It is back. It is at Anfield. We need them in full voice. All those fans, look at me taking it in. Of course, they're singing their hearts out. It needs to be like a Barcelona game, realistically. I know we're 2-0 down against Barca, but this is huge. There's a lot at stake, of course, here today, and Turnham will start off well. We haven't played a Premier League game today, but I need to get my head off waffle stats like that as Diaz, oh my days. Not our Diaz, but their Diaz, putting it very wide. Well, the best way to describe that was Wover. Wide and over as Trent Alexander-Arnold to run down the line a little bit there. Fuzzes it into Kubo, and Kubo through the middle. Jota onside, please! Oh, it didn't reach the Boslai. It's like what happened last time, and hey, we've won a Manager of the Month. Didn't know that. Good stat to have, and here's Trent again trying to cause something. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Ismail Benassa. It would be brilliant scenes of glorious emotion if he scored. An ex-Milan player, as I didn't touch upon it as well. But of course, Curtis Jones is fulfilling his wish here, and he needs to get a good rating in this game to show me that I was right to put him in. Look at that, getting stuck in actually. Against a team full of his old teammates, it must not be the greatest feeling. A bit of a mixed emotional affair as Diogo Jota tries to make a tackle. Not handball from Bastoni. Okay, we'll carry on. And Konate's actually still got the captain's armband. An unusual thing to see, but I haven't switched it around. Dominic Szoboszlai as well here. Go on, Szoboszlai. Ah, not great. Just a bit lower. Just a bit lower than that, and we should be all good. As Ismail Benasser again. We'll go down this side a little bit here. Robertson with a bit of an angle on Gabriel. Switch that into the box. It's going towards Kubo, who's our shortest player. Not really going to win anything in the air, but if there's one thing I'm sure of, we've been the better team. But they've had one really good chance through that man Diaz, who stole it off us. Van Dijk's diving in, and I don't know why Konate's the captain, but Lautaro Martinez around us again. It was good going, and then he had a weird shot. Wasted the chance for Inter, but that is half-time. And it is a square affair. Keep up the pressure that we're putting on them. But Diaz and Kubo, I want you shooting a lot more on sight. We're just getting it from Szoboszlai and he's not really doing it. Kubo didn't do it in the last game. Shoot on sight more. And I think something will come of it. Bit of tactical advice being shared there. Of course, I am the manager. I need to do that more often, really. As Thuram going for a power shot straight at Van Dijk's legs. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're not made of stainless steel. As here we go. Diogo Jota winning a header off a Kirby. We could do with him giving a penalty away again. And Kubo given the freedom to turn in this little gap here. Tries to play it. Ball falls back to him. It's Curtis Jones. It's now on for Ismail Benasser. Shot straight at the defender again, but we'll go again. Whip the ball in Kubo. Is that a hand? And is that in the box? What has happened here? It looks in the box. It looks in the box. It's got to be in the box. It wasn't really a handball again, like Foden's at the start of the episode. It didn't seem it, but Jota's taking a spot kick. Diogo, come on. Again, Sommer. He got chose over Darwin Nunez down the middle with the Panenka against the Italian club. You know you just had to do it. And Diogo Jota has Liverpool leading in the Champions League. Brilliant little Panenka. I mean, he put too much power on it, I think. You could see he just turned around then and just went, oh no, thinking he might have had too much power on it. But no. Golazo. And we need to keep on going. Need to keep on showing what we're showing. DeMarco's just gave that penalty away. He's going to be up for the rest of this game. And of course, it's not over. Been 2 penalties against Milan so far that may be sending us through. But Kubo, like I said, shoot on sight, mate. And what is that from Kubo? He spooned that so incredibly wayward. It's embarrassing, really, for him. And the fans, you could see straight after it with a little bit of a graphic, were actually upset with him. But still, we might get another chance because they've got 3 at the back. And they've got to push that 3 at the back forward. It's Dominic Szoboszlai. He will try to go around the keeper. And now it's going into last-minute territory. And oh my days, DeMarco. No, Konate. Big tackle from the captain of the night, who's kept them very, very quiet, but a corner ball. And it is still 2-1. We've got Kubo on the front post. Van Dijk is up there. Hands were high, but it seems like nothing's given. And it's a Serbi with the shot straight down the throat of Alisson. And his teammates are going to hate him for shooting there. Ridiculous decision. Ball just hoofed upfield. And the final whistle goes, which means that Liverpool are going to be in a quarter-final of the Champions League. Fantastic going. And I need to say straight away, man of the match, Konate. Brilliant. Captain's contribution, big time. It will go back to Van Dijk, but that was a show he put on. As if you want to see more shows put on, wait until next episode, I guess.